So we're here in the brick, and we're doing another Q&A, mainly because I'm on vacation and Q&As are fun to make and easy content. And I got a lot of good questions from all my internet friends and real life friends and other people. So we're gonna start the first question with Per Stockflet, aka PS Performance. Check him out on Instagram. And he asked me, how much trouble are you gonna be able to go through before you swap in a B230? And for those of you who don't know, a B230 is kind of a weak engine from a Volvo. And that's Theis Christensen that said it's a weak engine, so don't blame me. I'm, the user said it's weak. I don't know, it's a Volvo engine. But this question is kind of advanced, so I actually made a spreadsheet to show, and it kind of makes sense. Up here, it's hard. I said rotary because if you want to do a complex build with lots of failure possibilities, you got rotary. So that's the hard. In the middle, I got SBC. That stands for small block Chevy. That's what I'm running. It's right in the middle between hard and easy. And down here in the easy corner, I have 2JC, B230, big block Chevy, and an LS swap. And that's the easy. So you're starting at this point with your build, and you can go the easy route, and over here you got success. You can go the hard route, and maybe some point you're gonna reach success out here. But I went with this small block Chevy stuff, and it's really hard, and I'm far away from success. But at some point, I'm gonna reach success. If not, I'm gonna end up here at rotary, which is failure. So I don't know. I don't know if the scheme explains why I'm not swapping in a B230, but it's gonna be quite a lot of trouble. If I end up in this area, if I end up here, not at the success area, but here, I might consider other engine choices. But I basically have to be, let me put it this way, I have to be at rotary difficulties to consider a B230. That would be a direct crossover, and that would probably be a success. I'm gonna admit that would be a success, but I have to be at this point. And right now, I'm at this point, so I'm in the middle. Still hard, but in the middle. So that was the first question. I hope this little spreadsheet answered that. I spent the whole day at work making it. Hope my boss is happy to pay for that, but I hope it makes a lot of sense. I spent a lot of time doing the calculations and all that stuff to get it right. And for me, I'm a visual learner, so I hope the visual presentation of why I'm not switching from a small block Chevy to something else makes sense. Next question is actually from Theis Christensen, my most gender neutral Swedish friend at all, and he asked, why are you so obsessed with Swedish drags? And to be honest, I just feel like the dresses and hairstyles and the makeup is just more fresh and crisp in Sweden, and it's just the drag scene in Sweden is just more interesting and just has more potency into it, and it's more about partying and not so much about politics, and that's what I really like about Swedish drag. Let me just see this question, it's kind of weird. Oh, he meant Swedish Drag Race. Oh, okay. Why I'm so obsessed with Swedish Drag Race is because the Swedish Drag Race scene is just a lot more awesome than the Danish scene is. Not that I have anything against what's going on in Denmark, but there's just much more going on in Sweden. There's just more cars, more builds, more exciting stuff, more of everything. It's kind of simple. If I'm doing this YouTube thing where I'm filming other people's cars, and if I was only filming in Denmark, I would be filming the same cars all the time, and that would be boring for everybody. So just to have new content, fresh content, fun content, I have to go out. And Sweden has some awesome events. One of my favorites is Emma Boda, and also the stuff on Maintop, and we got a really nice track in Malmö still. Hopefully we're gonna have that for many years, but not looking good. But so that's very simple. That's good stuff. So why not go to it? Maybe I would love to go to Norway and Germany and stuff, but check that out. Okay, next question. Okay, next question is from Nikolai Ray Ryman. And an update about the converter situation and what was the problems with the 2 other converters, and is the new one working as it should, and maybe a complete walkthrough the specs on the car. We'll do a spec walkthrough in the car somewhere in the future. That's gonna be a separate video, and when the car's actually fully working, I can do a spec video, because right now we're still changing stuff around just to get it work. But to sum up the converter story real fast, the first converter I had in the car, I bought a used converter from a guy I actually met completely random, and he was like, I have a sweet converter for you. It's gonna be perfect for your setup. And I was like, oh, cool, thanks, that's awesome, bro. And I bought it, and it was basically a piece of shit. There was a bit of a drama story with payments and agreements and stuff. I don't want to get into that shit, but we had a disagreement about the whole thing. I paid the guy before I found out the converter was pretty much completely useless. So if you have a car that's running, I would say maybe 200 horsepower, 300, and you want to do some street driving or so whatever, I have the perfect 8-inch converter for you. But if you're planning to do anything harder than that, then it's pretty much useless. Second converter, I bought a Freak Show converter from a company called Freak Show Performance in the States, and that was a cheaper option. I did talk to them on the phone, and they got all my specs, but I broke the stator in that one, and that breaks around 650 horsepower, and I ripped right through that. It took about, I think the converter took maybe 16, 17 hits or something like that before it broke, so it was a cheap option. I think I paid maybe $1,200 for the converter or something. No, it was only, it was 800 plus 500 shipment, something like that. The shipment is crazy expensive when it's so heavy. So, but I broke that, got it fixed, had the car on the dyno with the old converter, and the car made so much power that the converter couldn't hold. So we were basically back to the situation from the first converter that couldn't take the power. What happened is you kind of just blow through the converter like a slipping clutch. So I decided, fuck, I'm not gonna buy used, I'm not gonna buy cheap, I'm gonna buy an expensive one, and I got a huge performance converter from the States, which is not crazy expensive, but pretty expensive, and I got all the right specs, and so far the converter has been working flawlessly. When you see the car having problems with burnouts and stuff, it's not the converter, it's basically me. So, but we are working around that, and we did some tests last week, and the car seems, with the new rear setup, seems really fast. So right now I'm not planning to change the converter. I might modify the converter because the stall speed is a little high, but that's really not really important right now. The car is working, so when we run into issues, if the converter is not working for the setup we have, we might take a look at that, but I'm not planning. It's working. So next question. Okay. Why don't you get... Oh, this is from Sune. Oh, yeah. You all know Sune is pretty much in every video. Why don't you get the Broke done and ready for MOT inspection? Because it's not a fucking street car. Oh, it is a street car, but we're not gonna have it inspected. And it's pretty idiotic having a car registered in your own name if you're planning to do illegal stuff. Not that I have done any illegal stuff, but if you were to, it would be pretty dumb. So, not gonna happen. So Sebastian Larsen asked, why don't you have any fast cars in Denmark? And for that question I can only have one answer, and that is, I'm 100% truly sorry. I'm so sorry. If anyone thinks that I'm a representation and this car is a reputation of Danish drag racing, street racing, and this is like, okay, this is the level of what's going on, I'm truly sorry, because I'm not. I'm an idiot, and everything I do is pretty much a failure. So consider me the lowest tier. There's lots of guys with smaller tires, heavier cars that's loads faster than me. So please don't consider this a serious thing. But there are fast cars out there, and probably also cars that could be fast on the street. That's pretty much what Sebastian means. But well, there's actually lots of people that has fast cars standing in the garage, but they, in my opinion, don't use them. It's like they don't even go to legal stuff. They just have a fast car, and I don't know, maybe race once a year or whatever. But if that's what you want to do, that's awesome. But well, the scene is not that big, so that's a limit onto the car. But we do have some, I would say we have some pretty decent cars, but there's a handful I would consider fast, even for Swedish standards. But and we got Jordi from Holland, and this is not really a direct question, but he asked me, would you consider taking the Brick to a car meet in Holland? And yes, I would. I think I'm gonna scout going to Holland first, check the scene out, and then bring the car, because it's a 10-hour drive with the trailer. But I've done stupid things before, so I seriously consider coming to Holland with the Brick. But mainly, first of all, I'd probably just fly down and check the scene out. But I'd love to come to Holland, but you already know this, Jordy. But everybody else, I'm planning to go to Holland and to film in the future. Any more questions? And this is a summary. The last questions we got here. I'm just gonna sum up some questions. So because this is gonna answer like 5 different questions, all from Swedish guys. I'm not gonna mention you because I'm an idiot. What races are you gonna be at in the future? And specifically, the 2 races people are worried about are Skåne Open and Stockholm Open. And Skåne Open is when you see this video, it's 2 weeks ahead, roughly, something like that. And I'll do anything I can in my power to be ready for Skåne Open. But as you know, that might not be enough. So I'll do my best to be ready, and hopefully we can race at that event, put a pro driver in and go to Mexico and all that stuff. And Stockholm Open, that is a bit more open question, because as far as I know, and I don't know anything, but as far as I know, there won't be a Stockholm Open this year. Not legal, not illegal, no nothing. And so it's pretty easy to say that I won't be going to Stockholm. I would love to go to Stockholm to maybe do a grudge race or whatever. It's a pretty long ride just for one race, but it might be worth the video. I don't know if there's somebody interested. It has to be a slow car, maybe a small tire, front wheel drive, NA car, something like that. That would be a fair race, because I can't seem to beat anybody else. No. If the guy with the Porsche that beat us, not me, they beat the Brick last year. If you want to race, I'll put the car on a trailer and drive to Stockholm. We'll race for, contact me, I will find a good amount. It has to be worth 16 hours of driving with a trailer, so keep that in mind. So I'm not racing for 500 Swedish, which is only 50 Danish. So, and you own a Porsche, you have lots of money. So if you want to race, we can definitely do it, because I definitely feel like we should have a rematch. But otherwise than that, Stockholm looking pretty bleak. But maybe there's gonna be Linköping Open, Göteborg Open, stuff like that. So if the car's ready and I have time, it's I got the general at home, so she's pretty much the boss of where I can be and when I can be somewhere. If she allows it, I'll go to those events. That was a quick 5-6 questions. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and as always, today, see